Yeah. So this is Thatcher's.
Keep going, Manolo.
Itoxkintugan Bitartian killer jam. Let's just fucking listen to it. It's fucking badass.
There you go. Actually, you did a very good job of pronouncing it. Yay. Bueno, aquí en mi vecindad.
I love that it starts too.
Yeah, dude.
Thatcher's is one of my favorite bands of the last year and a half, 2 years. I have one complaint only of Thatcher's.
Not enough music.
That's a smaller complaint.
Yeah.
I really, really wish they would mix up and sing in Castellano.
I mean,
Can you imagine if they would?
That's their values,
I know,
bro. Yeah.
I get it, dude.
Yeah.
But like, I'm gonna play a band later on this evening that was almost half of this Control.
Control, right?
20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Arcada Social has always done it this way. In fact, they started before this Control. So it's kind of weird, and I really appreciate when O'Day sings in Spanish. It's like, man, I can sing along and I can anyways, Thatcher's, I'm just waiting for them one day because I think they would be, okay, we like them, love them and respect them. But can you imagine if they sing in Castellano like the rest of the world embracing them?
Yeah. Y también, I think even within Spain, they would only get bigger because there's a whole band that only plays, in their language, not in Castellano. It's like a fucking, it's a political, which is what it is.
It is, it's completely political. And I get it. And I support them in that. I really, really, really do. To where I had many conversations with many Basque people here in the United States.
Yeah.
And it would turn decisive because even with our buddies in this Control, even they got conflicted because they understood. I'm like, pero bueno, you love los mexicanos, los pochos de aquí, los Estados Unidos en Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yet you're losing out. So they were kind of like, it was clicking kind of like, but they were very political about like, if they did that, they would think that in España, they would take it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just going like, and I kept saying like, well, there's a way out. You get a subsidiary disquera in Mexico.
Right. Okay.
Pull your stuff out. Y que no se de España, so, I mean, there was movies, but then we lost, anyways, Thatcher's. Now, what's the next band?
Facebook, by the way. So happy last day of August, Facebook. El último día del mes.
Terminó on a blue moon.
Oh man, that was nice.
Yeah.
Nico was already asleep and I got him up. He had just fallen asleep and I got him up because you know what? I said, we got to see this movie. We've been talking about it and it's like, got in and so damn, I was like, fuck, Anyway, got him up, checked it out. We talked about it for a little bit and then he went back to bed, passed out. So
it was kind of interesting how this, for me, how this set came together because it was definitely this song and El Chirota, and then filling it in with the next band. And then at the end, it was like, oh yeah, that one Chuck Jones jam would round it out nice.
I kind of felt that you were just playing jams that you loved.
So I was. So this jam, the Thatchers, reminds me of fucking Evergreen, bro. So they have hints of that. Y luego, of course, El Chirota on that jam, Jawbreaker, and Chuck Jones, Sludgeworth. So basically, to me, it was just like shit that sounds that I love listening to.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean,
yeah.
Thatcher's, El Chirota, and Chuck Jones out of your set invoke more feelings out of me, definitely. Kurai did, but in a different way. To me, it was more like in the Heaver-esque, let me just like rock out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
these guys are badass, man.
No, definitely. But they didn't I felt a little bit disconnect between the other songs and this one in general.
Yeah, this one was a little more
you're talking
hardcore.
about Kurai?
Yeah, Kurai.
It's very it's almost metal, no? I mean,
it's kind of more like hardcore.
like yeah, like it's definitely more like the rock and you know, aspect. It's a difference from Tatchers because Tatchers is very unique to where I think they have something kind of special and they can harness it, but I don't know if they ever will. Kind of in that Biznaga sense that, you know, where I think Biznaga is igual at the same, like at face value, you're going like, well, dime a dozen, but then you really dig into them, you're going like, nah, bro, they're on different, they're firing on different levels.
That's a good song though. Miracari.
Yeah, from Kurai too. These motherfuckers are badass, dude. I'll talk a little bit more about them on the air. Pero yeah, this song, I mean, it just fucking kicks ass, dude. Like once when the intro screaming just starts, it's just rock, man.
Mike's turning on mics.
Ok, que vamos a escuchar a Kurai con su canción Piracari. So, Kurai es una banda que ya no está en existencia. Empezó en hace un chingo de años, 2001 o algo así, and it was supposed to be a one-shotter, one album, a couple of friends coming together. They ended up putting out 3 albums. That's how good they were. Y esta rola, Viracari, es del álbum Pizzu da Pizia del 2005, y esta banda es de Barcelona, España. So these cats, los miembros de esta banda Kurai, they're members from Berasari, Negu Goriak, and a bunch of other bands.
Wow.
So it's almost like a super group.
They're members of
around
Beri Charak?
Mm-hmm.
Because Beri Charak got huge. They got as huge as Negu Goriak.
Yeah.
You know, to where like the main singer for Beri Charak, I mean, he's kind of like on the level of the Pearl Jam guy, Eddie Vedder. Like that's how big he is. He does a lot of guest vocals con La Moda and a bunch of other guys. Like, in fact, when you listen to that Wayne main jam of La Moda, the PRMVR, that's him. That's the singer for Beri Charak.
Yeah. So Kurai, I mean, I've been playing them for a while. I think this must be, I don't know, I've been playing them for the last 2 years. And when I listened to them, I was super impressed by the quality of their sound. And I was like, okay, who are these cats? Because these guys either went on to do something else or they are coming from like really good bands.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Now it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely check out their albums from 2001, 2005. Kurai. Amazing.
Wow. Without even trying, I think we're hanging out a lot in País Vasco. This little set. Anyways. Talk about the next band because I love this song.
Yeah, okay. Ahora vamos a ir a la capital de México, El Chirota. Y esta rola, desde afuera, me and Hector argue back and forth. What's the best song del nuevo álbum de ellos? Ni siquiera estamos listos para hablar. Very strong case for this song, Desde Afuera.
I think I lean towards Desde Afuera.
Like, I'm up there between Segmentaciones and this jam. And what's impressive, if you haven't listened to a nuevo álbum del Chirota, definitely check it out. We talked about this before the show. It's their best musical complete work. Yeah.
Bueno, vamos a escuchar Desde Afuera, El Chirota, Mi Vecindad. Yeah, I love the way El Chirota really push their own envelope in este disco. Esta rola reminds me of a combination of Jawbreaker, a little bit of Rocket from the Crypt, Heavy Dose, Sassy Monster. Okay.
So you're saying it's just fucking killer.
Amazing. Yeah. It's as if you know, for the same reasons I like Sassy Monster of like 8 years ago, this jam invokes. I mean, it's no secret that we're fans of Jawbreaker and Rocket from the Crypt, and But el Chilota, man, nailed it con este disco y en esta rola específicamente.
Y pinche Rubén nos advirtió, güey. He's like, this album that's going to come out is lo mejor que ha hecho el Chilota, like on the interview that you guys can listen to on Mi Vecindad, on Spotify, a bunch of other platforms.
Yeah. Which you should. It just, the next two songs that you put together is un flashback to 93, or the summer of 93. Yeah, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Driving those long stretches to go visit you guys from like, you know, Soledad and Gonzales all the way down at the Santa Cruz or Watsumbin. And I'm driving by myself for like an hour, just blasting, you know.
Dude, I know exactly what you mean because I used to do the reverse drive, man.
Yeah.
And I remember bringing LPs, 7 inches, whatever, and it's like, dude,
to make our own mixtapes.
Yeah. Check this out, man. You got to listen to this, man. Shit's killer. I still remember the first time when Jawbreaker came into my universe, man. It's like, wow.
See, now, esta rola, Chuck Jones, we've played it before. We've played Chuck Jones a few times, but this jam, specifically the Chuck Jones, Mucho Como Vos, you can take the music tracks and then go and buy Vapid, Dan Vapid, from Screeching Weasel, Sludgeworth, put him on vocals, and it would be Sludgeworth. Yeah. Like it's amazing. Same thing when we listen to Super Cero, it's the same thing. It's like this succulent, well-written, guitar-heavy melodic punk.
So I've only listened to their stuff that's available on Apple. There's not a lot of Chuck Jones material on Apple Music. So I don't know if that's all their material, pero the songs that I like from Chuck Jones are just fucking killer. Then there's other songs that I'm just like, okay.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
And they're hit or miss. Aquí en Mi Vecindad, we've kind of played the ones that we like from Chuck Jones.
Yeah.
Because when they kind of remind me of this other band from Argentina que también me gusta mucho, Index of. But Index of tienen 2 rolas that blow my mind.
Yeah.
And
that's how I feel about Chuck Jones.
And then everything else is good. It's just.
Isn't it that one band we talked about? Maybe you know, a little hot topic on some of the.
Yeah. You know, they have some amazing couple of like 3-4 rolas, and then it just everything else is well done. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
You know, the recording's good, la grabación, el instrumental, las voces. I mean, it's all good. But if anybody that knows me, I was not a huge listener to SoCal music or Flipside. I was very picky about.
I like the
área donde viene Dr. G. Like I was very picky about some of the music that came out of there.
I like the Muffs. The Muffs are good.
Muffs were amazing, dude.
Like,
yeah. I'm a big fan of, you know, Black Flag and Bad Religion, but don't get me started on Offspring, Pennywise.
So to me, like when I think of SoCal, there's a lot of bands, but like super simplification to me, like the bands when I think of like I like SoCal, it's going to be
Turning on mics.
Okay, esa rola es Mucho Como Vos de Chuck Jones de San Jose, Costa Rica. We've had them on the air a number of times. Really good jam. Y
esta rola es it's magical. Estamos hablando fuera del aire que it reminds us of Sludgeworth. Like you could actually get Dan Vapid el vocalista de Sludgeworth, el Screeching Weasel, and gosh, what other bands, the Mopes, you name it, and put him on the vocals, and it'd be an amazing pop punk song.
So Hector, you totally got my set list. To me, it was just a throwback from shit that we listened to, in the early mid 90s. From El Shirota, reminding us of Jawbreaker, Chuck Jones reminding us of Sledgeworth, y a mí también, Thatchers. Their one song reminded me a lot of Evergreen.
Which is a trip, because now that you mentioned it,
the vocals, the way he sings the vocals.
Yes, Thatchers. Para la gente que no ha escuchado mucho, especially just what we've played, do yourself a favor, watch some of their low budget videos and get their stuff. They're very unique. They're young kids. They're being molded. They remind me of Biznaga 5 years ago. Like, I just can't wait to see what they do.
Oh, dude, todo el material que han sacado, amazing. Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep it going.
¿A dónde vamos? Vamos a regresar.
Vamos a regresar.
Yeah.
So, nos cacheteó el diabólico, and he goes like, boom, I got some flashback stuff. And I'm like, okay. So then I just started going like, sing along. I just want to sing along,
Nice.
And I know Manolo's a big fan of Brigada. And so I figured I want to play my favorite Brigada Criminal song.
I really like his vocals.
The guy's a sweetheart. That's the funny thing, dude. I forgot his name. I partied with him like amazingly well for 2 days. He's just like us.
Cool.
It's just the band Brigada Criminal is just them and Nuevo Catequismo, Discípulos and Descontrol. They're so similar to all of us, to where we became like,
Yeah.
Anyways, right. Brigada Criminal. Y que todo sigue igual.
Aquí en mi vecindad, la banda de la Sica Radio.
Yeah, the wife had to come pick him up because
yeah, you shared this before. This is
because he was been gone for a while.
It was bad.
Too long.
It was bad. I guess he's a little bit older than us. And we started partying, and he didn't know much about us, but we became really tight in those couple of days. And then he started like yelling and started like, because he had half of Brigada was there, like at the Gastecho with us. And he's all, we're gonna play right now. And so me and Felix were going like, you're gonna play right now. Yes, you are. We will give you our gear. You're gonna play. I was just, anyways, he threw up all over himself. He peed all over himself. It was,
nice.
It was glorious. It was glorious. They had to take him home.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Que esas noches.
Esta rola.
Madre.
Que todo sigue igual. Again, seguí el Diabólico in the mid 90s, early 90s. Just really good melodic, real punk rock, but really melodic. Like this is stuff that all is done,
Yeah, it was kind of interesting, dude, because the set list que mandaste la semana pasada, fucking A, dude, it was just fucking badass. And so when I was putting together that set list, I was also, touching these songs, and I was like, oh, okay, let's make this set aggressive. Pero we got all these fucking amazing songs, and when I put them together, and I was like, fuck, that just sounds amazing. I thought, wait, boom.
No, yeah, it works out right. I mean, we just seguí la corriente. I started going with this, and then I started reminiscing to our friends in Descontrol, and I wanted to play some of their stuff, but I think I had that lined up for later. I got something bigger for that later on. So then I started thinking Arcada Social, you know? And for those who don't know, Arcada Social originally was, I forgot who the two other guys, but it was Ode and Peter. So basically the bassist and the drummer that you all met on the tours de Descontrol over here, Ode the bassist and Peter the drummer, were Arcada Social. They were taken from Arcada Social to be in Descontrol.
Oh,
it was kind of like it was kind of a trip, you know. They only had demo and maybe an EP or something like that when that was happening. Pero cuando dejó de tocar Descontrol around like 2012, what I like, Arcada just started back up, and they released como 4 discos from like I think 2013 all the way up to like 2019, I think, or 2018.
I actually appreciated que pusiste Brigada Criminal, Arcada Social, and Subus because they're good fucking bands, dude.
They're great bands.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I te seguí la corriente, güey. I just wanted to sing along. Just sing along, you know.
So who's the singer for Arcada?
Ode, the bassist for Descontrol. Ode.
Yeah.
He's the singer for and I don't know if you listen to the bass lines. He's an amazing bassist.
Hey, so is a third of tonight's show just fucking Basque motherfuckers?
Basque countries.
Yeah.
And
I don't think we meant to do it.
No.
Hachos son vascos.
Yeah.
Por ahí, Arcada Social, Brigada. Subus, they're actually from Madrid. But don't hold that against them. Subus is amazing, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back, man.
Subus has been around since we've been around in music.
Subus has been around for a long time. Subus is late 90s, you know, like it was just a trip. 'Cause I remember when I was in Madrid at Gruta and they showed up at the show, the whole band showed up. And I knew who they were.
Yeah.
And I started telling him, like, man, I go, ni 10 años atrás, we were playing because we had one of their albums, dude, like one of their first albums. Creo que salió en 98 por ahí. So we used to play in Vecindad. And they were tripping out on that. Like, pero ¿cómo llegó allá? Hostia, tío, ¿cómo llegó allá? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how we got it, but we had it and we were playing it, you know. Wonderful guys.
Oh, man. I would love to have been in some of those experiences, you know. Y pues hace ratito we were alluding to having one of those experiences, relived our moments. Once in a while, it's not bad to do.
Yeah.
Once in a while. And so
es que Don Diablo brings out the worst in you.
Man, I checked in with him on Monday. So I'm still, he's just like, so he partied Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right?
Oh my goodness.
And so he was like, just, you know, he was still crudo on Monday for sure, you know. And I was like, nah, you know, I just can't do that anymore. But it was, so I asked Don Diablo, I said, have you seen a movie called Trainspotting? You know, and so he's like, no. And I said, well, you got to see Trainspotting in order for me to like really, for you to really understand how all this transpired that night. Like, and it was one of the, I'm telling you, I'll show you pictures. Turn it on, Mike.
Seguiremos juntos. Arcada Social. Buenísima banda. Ode. Peter doesn't play in the band. I think he stopped playing music a long time ago. Ode and Peter were original members of Descontrol, original members of Arcada Social. Ode is the bass player for Descontrol, singer for Arcada Social. Amazing singer-songwriter también. I mean, like he does some amazing stuff. Seguiremos juntos del segundo full length de Arcada Social from like, I think 2015, 2014 por ahí, about 10 years ago. Anyways, antes de eso, Brigada Criminal con Y que todo sigue igual. Brigada Criminal does not exist anymore. They only put out a few records. There you go. Nice, man. Manny's dropping knowledge, dude.
Oh, yeah, porque se me va a olvidar, güey. So I just dropped some shit in chat. Anyways.
Se le va a olvidar. Why? ¿Cómo que por qué se te va a olvidar?
So he's heavy lifting right now. Heavy lifting.
Nice.
So,
social,
anyways, vamos a seguir esta noche with
good shit.
With sing-along stuff, okay?
Yes.
I'll be honest with you guys. Well, Manolo already knows this. Like, one of my favorite genres of music has always been melodic sing-along punk rock.
Yeah.
Okay. So this next band, vamos a regresar a Costa Rica.
A regresar a Costa Rica.
Where Chuck Jones is from.
Yeah.
Con Malas Palabras. Malas Palabras. And we're going to circle back. Let's trip on this. Estábamos hablando de Chuck Jones and how esa rola, Mucho Como Vos, sounds a lot like Sludgeworth. Now, Sludgeworth era el proyecto de Dan Vapid from Screeching Weasel, and he just sang it instead of playing guitar. Grabaron nomás un disco and 1 7-inch. You can get everything together in compilation thing with a couple of
afterwards
now, but it was aquel entonces hace 30 años atrás, it was extremely difficult to find. It was like almost impossible to find this stuff. But anyways, so Malas Palabras actually has some songs with a collab with Dan Vapid. So Dan Vapid has gone to Costa Rica to record, play with, and do mini tours with Malas Palabras.
That's badass, man.
So that's like full circle back. Okay. Chuck Jones, Malas Palabras, Costa Rica, and Dan Vapid. Anyways, let's take it one step further. Malas Palabras with their song, Tu Tatuaje de Screeching Weasel.
Mi vecindad.
That is totally full circle. Yeah, you're right, G.
Yeah. It's like we're bouncing between these two countries.
Yeah. But it all goes back to like Dan Vapid and Screeching Weasel. And here we are.
Awesome.
Yeah. Malas Palabras, I don't know if they're still doing it, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because they have quite a few good songs. You know?
Well, and it seemed like it didn't necessarily seem like a project band, right? I mean, because they have a few albums.
No, Malas Palabras is a legit band. Dan Vapid just came, and I would love to interview Malas Palabras just to see how do they connect with Dan Vapid. I mean, Dan Vapid is from Chicago,
right,
all the way hasta Costa Rica, unless he was just on tour, like, or vacationing.
I'm sure that
and he walked into some like crazy bar, like Senor Frogs, and he sees Malas Palabras playing, and he's just like, man, yeah, dude. And then Malas Palabras goes, wait, but you're Dan Vapid. So then it just takes off from there, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. If Vapid was fucking even remotely willing. Yeah.
And he did. There's video of him playing with Malas Palabras in Costa Rica. You know, it's a trip.
But they well, no. Yeah, the last thing they released, Malas Palabras, was in 23, but it was demos from like their
they put something out right at the beginning of pandemic, a COVID song, but I don't know, no han sacado nada más, so I don't. Mera verdad que no sé, you know, be a shame if they don't, you know.
Well, we won't hold them against them, pero sí queremos que sigan como grupo, you know.
Now, Sugos. Como estaba hablando, Doctor, Sugos has been around for 25 años, like a long time. I argue that they are on the same level of No Picky and Depressing Claim, but don't get the credit. They've been around for almost as long, and they're equally just as good. Sugos is just like, You know, they do that great Ramonero style punk rock. You know, well done.
Dude, I'm looking at a picture right now. It's of Vondre on Instagram. They played in Austin a couple nights ago. And there's a picture of her with La Chica from that one band, Pussy Gillette.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Dude,
Are they touring together? Or?
Well, Pussy Gillette is from Austin, Texas. Yeah, and Vondre was just there. So
I wonder if they play together there.
I'm sure they must have, man.
Where do they play at in Austin?
I don't know.
Is that the African American Latina, or was it?
Yeah, it's the Afro Latina chick.
Yeah. Because we've only ever played emos there.
But emos is the only place you should be playing.
Exactly. I mean, we were lucky, but you know, like sometimes we get lucky on tours and we played like the joints. You know, like I remember you were going to go see our shows at emos when you were doing your own shows.
Yeah. Next door.
Yeah.
I was literally next door. I knew the owner. He was a good friend. I'd be in my suit. Yeah. And I'd be, hey, I'm gonna go check out this band. Oh, hey, Dr. Juice, and fucking just walk in, you know, any show. But yeah, that was fun. Tuning in the mics, el Angels tuning in.
Angels Beats. Sugos, me caigo bien. Antes de eso, malas palabras, tu tatuaje de Screeching Weasel. Just both bands, great sing along, Ramonero, high energy. It reminds me of like Manolo when he wouldn't stop dancing to Screeching Weasel at a cowboy bar.
Well, and he got my defense, all I got to say, the lineup, Screeching Weasel, the Queers, and Corrupted Peasant Farmers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It was amazing. I get it. I'm not faulting you. I'm just saying you left about, 700-800 kids really mad at you because you wouldn't stop pogoing.
I was going to ask, what kind of dancing were you doing? He
was just pogoing, dude. But it was at a cowboy bar. It was at a line dancing.
They thought it was slamming. They thought it was slamming, bro. They thought it was slamming. Yeah. It's like, oh, fucker, this is pogoing.
Yeah, and he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop. I remember like jumping on him to try to bring him down. Yeah. And he just wouldn't stop. He was just like, I get it. So we got to see cuatro canciones de Screeching Weasel, and they just turned off the show. Anyways, Sugos, me caigo bien, malas palabras. It was San Jose.
Dude. It was at a cowboy bar in San Jose.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We went the next night to the Gilman, and then we saw the full show. So that was fine.
Wait, at the Gilman?
Yeah. Huh?
I was totally just remembering a show that we went to the Gilman, and for some reason I went into the pit. And
that night it was so packed out that there wasn't really a pit. It was more like one of the other nights like this, But anyways, blast of the past.
Yeah.
Malas palabras, tu tatuaje de Screeching Weasel, Sugos, me caigo bien. Great stuff. We're gonna keep it going.
Keep it going. Unos saludos a tu amigo, el tuyo.
Angel?
Out of Vino, yes.
Oh, Angel.
I heard he's tuning in. He's
sipping on some beer.
He's big pimping.
Stogie on some lake.
He's not really? Semi-retired anymore. He's not semi-retired.
I have visions of Angel sipping on Milbeck, and you're right, smoking cigars.
Yeah. That he's enjoying it, man. Saludos.
Contemplating.
Angels Beats los martes. Escuchen a Angels Beat. Listen to Angels Beat on Tuesday here at La Banda Elástica Radio. Let's keep going. Chivo.
Otra banda que voy a tocar. También has been one of my newer favorites de punk rock the last, 6-7 years. We've been playing them since we started back up again la última vez. Desfortunadamente, I don't know if Amor Gillette is in existence anymore, which is a shame because they're damn good, Damn good. Anyways, la canción se llama Melodrama, Amor, Gillette.
Aquí la banda elástica radio, mi vecindad.
Yeah, I think these were the last two singles that they put out. And I don't know.
You don't know if they're still around.
No sé, no idea. It would be a shame if they're not, because I think they're definitely a band that, with a little bit of guidance and money, you know, they can do a lot. You know, they just need better recordings.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
Their chops are there, you know.
yeah.
And it reminds me of
I'm
La Banda that I paired him with.
okay.
Okay, it reminds me of early Dos Minutos. Not so much in their musical stylings, but in the vocals. I love this guy's vocals, and I love Mosco's vocals.
Mhm.
You know, it's just great, you know, melodic Argentinian style. Like these three singers,
Mhm.
from Gillette, Moscow en 2 minutos, and El Güey de Flema. I love the vocals for snotty, melodic punk rock. You know?
Yeah, and because of that is how we end tonight.
And I know you.
Yeah. And so yeah. And it's good because it fits, you know, it totally fits, you know. And but yeah, it is one of those nights where it's cohesive, the playlist, man. But I think I'm still reminiscing, like, you know, it's kind of when they let you go out, you know, play in the playground after you've been, you know.
Nice. Yeah. I get it. So
And I want to be able to do that. And I was thinking, I think there's definitely going to be a point where I'm like, okay, boom, that's it. I'm done. Done.
You need to play, dude.
Yeah.
You always have to play.
Yeah. Oh, no, and I think that way,
Mhm.
going to shows and enjoying music always, I think that's never going to stop, you know. And so,
okay.
yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question about this single in particular. You guys have known Dos Minutos for as long as I have, 30 some odd years.
Mm-hmm.
Otra Mujer is one of their classic
Mm-hmm.
songs. So when you listen to this version, because this just came out like 2.5 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good jam. But
It's-
knowing a little bit of the background of who the female singer is.
Mimi Maura.
Yeah.
She's almost like an artsy art. I don't want to say she's like a Debbie Harry because she doesn't play that kind of music. She is
A feminist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super artsy cabaret style. Natural.
So fucking Dos Minutos, when we fucking got into them and when we got all excited about them, they were fucking offending feminists.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's up, dude? What happened?
I don't know. Moscow's obviously like hanging out in art galleries now. And re-recording Otra Mujer.
It's a great version.
And honestly, having fun.
Yeah.
Turning on mics.
Esa fue Otra Mujer. La rola clásica de la bandota Dos Minutos. Incluso tienen a Mimi Maura. doing a duet with Moscow on it. It's unique. It like I trip out when I listen to it because esta pareja should not be kicking it.
Talk a little bit about Mimi Maura, dude.
Super artsy cabaret singer, politically motivated, very progressive, very much in trouble half the time with the media.
Who, Mimi or Dos Minutos?
Mimi. Oh, también Moscow, no, Dos Minutos,
Yeah.
pero like,
So that's what they have in common, trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you think about it, when you boil it down, it's like punk rock.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you remember David Byrne, Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Super artsy.
Yeah.
Kicking it with La Ramones, the Stooges. You know what I'm saying? Like they shouldn't be kicking it together. Blondie.
Well, yeah, but and that's what's fabulous about art.
Yeah.
You think about it.
I agree.
Art. And then there's another Argentinian connection con Mimi Maura, que es la pareja de ella.
Oh, so you know something I don't know.
Ooh, say more.
Sergio Rotman, saxofonista de los Cadillacs, is her partner.
What? That's
And they
awesome.
have a kid together. That's how her connection to Argentina.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And la música, no, porque
And Rothman's crazy. I don't know if he still has the long ass dreads, but I mean, he used to be like the crazy dreadlock guy.
And I think when you mentioned what you mentioned about the studios and hanging out with the artists and musicians, and I think this is it. This is exactly that. Y por eso nació. De hecho, they have a kid together and all that. So I mean, it's about the art. It's about the music. And
I think so. A un punto llegas a un punto and you're just going like, it's all good, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Dos Minutos tienen que 35 años de estar tocando. I mean, think about it. Esos vatos like they're even way older than we are.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You know, you just kind of like, Anyways, esta rola apenas acaba de salir.
Muy
This
buena.
is a single.
Buena,
Otra mujer. Dos Minutos con Mimi Maura.
I like to state
finales de junio, you know.
It didn't get like they didn't change it much. You know what I mean?
They slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that the breakdown, they extended it to flesh out the vocals of both.
Her vocals, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And Mimi Maura has such a natural, weirdly sultry cabaret voice.
Yeah.
Because that's what she does. That's her mole, is like she does very artsy cabaret style, almost jazzy type stuff. And then you have Moscow.
Legendary.
You know.
He was always in the news, right? But for other reasons.
But then again, I mean, you look at Cadillacs, Vicentico and Señor Flavio.
At the beginning, they were.
I mean,
oh yeah, we've had.
I mean, honestly, who's sketchier, Vicentico or Moscow?
Ahí se llevan y los dos son.
Ahí se llevan, yeah, exactly. Anyway, so that was my response.
Más.
La cachetada que me dio Manolo.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to flashback to the 90s and just keep that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows going.
Nice.
Best of times, man. Best of times.
I needed it. It helped me out this past weekend. Escuchando la música esta was preparing me for what transcended this past weekend. Y bueno, se les recuerda que a través de DiavloVision, la banda elástica Radio Mi Vecindad, la unión allí, estamos fuerte apoyando la música nativa en español. Búsquenos en el Face.
And I heard Chencha stole the show on Friday.
Okay, you know, the other band was
the bigger.
Yeah, the headliners was really this place. I love mi gente, and I love going to these places. Outdoor venue of a restaurant. It's like they're back. I'm sure it's their parking lot in the back turned into an actual venue. You know, you go into the side. There's fucking the top of the restaurant bar is an actual like apartment. And like, so we're in this area and this so, you know, this parking lot, and like el escenario, the roof of the scenario, like if you're 6 feet tall, you might hit the lights, you know, and you know, and it almost covers the fucking, so it's not even complete, right?
Wow.
And then right next door, there's like they just brought up an apartment building, like, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are they thinking? These guys are live music all the fucking time on the weekends.
You're like fucking building violations.
No, so me and her were
Did it work?
We were having a chela, and I was looking, and I was like, no, dude, that's the apartments for the bands that come here. You know, that's where they stay. You know, after the gig, he goes, oh yeah. And I'm like, no, fucker.
No.
Fucking stupid ass shit. They're fucking putting an apartment building right there next to the wall. Oh my God. Free show. Anyway, it was a beautiful show. Yes. Chencha Berrinches did steal the show in many ways. There was a lot of old school people. Unos saludos a Aztlan Underground. I saw those cats. I hadn't seen them in.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't thought of those guys in ages, man.
Dude, I actually saw some of those homies maybe earlier in the year.
Nice.
Like they have like a little side project.
Orale.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really, and so I was telling Don Diablo, do you remember some of the scenes from Trainspotting? And he's like, I've never seen the movie. I said, you gotta see the movie, because I think we did we did a little bit of Trainspotting this weekend, man. It was like we're driving to Long Beach, and fucking Herb lives in downtown. I don't know what the fuck happened, but anyway, vamos a terminar esta noche siguiendo el ritmo y dándole honor a dos grupos que si no fuera por ellos, la música de punk rock.
Okay, but this is what trips me out, dude. A veces sacas unos grupos.
Yeah.
And I like to consider myself an old school, knowledgeable punk rocker.
Yeah.
And you just eye poked me twice.
I appreciate this part of the show, G, because you fucking always amaze me.
Oh,
Yeah. Like I'm like, I don't school me, bro. School me.
These guys, so literalmente, if it wasn't for these guys, Dos Minutos wouldn't necessarily be who they are, you know. Countless other Argentines, including Los Fabulosos Cadillacs. These guys started in 1980. You know, they started forming groups in 77.
Nice.
Los Laxantes y Los Barajas, two punk rock groups from the 80s. Do you remember Invasión 98? Or Invasión 98?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you remember about Invasión?
88 y 98. Like, yeah.
Okay, right. But it was 98 that inspired, right, the I think the movement outside of Argentina with that kind of music. The ponqueros acá, and because it was
88, Invasión 88, the one that came out in 88, because we started getting it. We didn't get it in 88, we got it como en 90.
That was Invasión 98.
No, güey, porque yo tenía el 88 in like 93.
Yeah, we started being, it was fucking,
it was Invasión 98.
Yeah. And that was like the part 2 10 years later.
Well,
you know,
Invasión, and because of that, again, these groups were the guys who started it all. They were like, you know, this is punk rock, we're doing it, and de ahí salieron los otros grupos.
I mean, Los Laxantes, the name alone. I mean, come on, dude. Like,
Los Laxantes.
That's dangerous.
That's laxatives, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's dangerous.
Or
like,
dudes on latex. Which one?
I think it's laxatives.
I think it's laxatives.
I think it's dudes on latex.
Oh, maybe.
Either way, I want nothing to do with it. You know?
Either way sounds very slippery.
Exactly.
Okay? Very slippery. Bueno, terminamos dándole honor a los Laxantes y los Barajas. Se escucha en lo que es la melodía de esa era de ese tipo de punk, ¿no? El punk rock argentino, los inicios, los principios fueron a través de estos dos grupos, los Laxantes y los Baraja. Aquí.
45 años atrás. So trip on that.
It's been a minute. So.
Yep.
Old guys rule.
Nos despedimos.
Yeah. Hasta la próxima, muchachos. Agur.
Cuídense, raza.
Buenas noches. I tried to
I was
get.
listening to him and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going like Manny said, I'm like, you pulled it off again. I'm like, I've never heard of these vatos, like ever. And that's the beauty of, I remember like, cuando ayer me topé con Pachuli.
Órale, yeah.
And
awesome. That's
and you know, we for like a brief second we talked about music and that, and he has a history of music and that back from 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
And he looked at me, he's all like, hay un chingo de bandas ahorita, dude. Like referring to what we play in Las Nada. He's all, can you imagine, bro? Yes, I was going to hablar Pachuli. Can you imagine, bro? If we would have had all these bands back in the day, I'm like, yeah.
Man.
Beautiful era that we're in. So it's not just us three thinking.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean,
one quick note. The beautiful thing is that a lot of the music that was lost is somehow being digitized and it's surfacing. And I love it.
Yeah. Like we would have never had los laxantes en los baraja. We would have played them. Definitivamente en mi vecindad. En los 90s. Si teníamos grabaciones de estos grupos.
I remember when I would get demos at Aslan Records and we'd bring them down of groups, you know, I think that's how we got Tonito. Did we get Tonito from that or from
no, Tonito Cabanillas, we got
Caleb?
We had a couple. You got one, and I think Callan had another one.
Callan.
But you brought Gonzalo La Tele sent you their demo.
No, but there was another one from Puerto Rico. No, you know which one it was? It was Musiquita. Remember the band called Musiquita?
Yeah.
It's like electro rock. Musiquita. That's what it was. Oh man, I was so in love with that cassette. The cassette. Yeah,
I remember cassettes. Well, back in the day in La Cabina, we go from vinyl to CDs to cassettes. And I think there was an 8-track player behind us, but which we never used. But like, I mean,
I think we even had a reel-to-reel. I'm pretty sure.
We never used it, but like, it was there. You know.
Bueno, vamos a despedirnos en el Face. Muchas gracias a todos. Saludos.
Hasta la próxima, muchachos.